Hello, hello. Welcome to Anime Anonymous. I'm CJ.
I'm Ace.
And this week we are feeding that anime addiction with my recommendation, Lycoris Recoil. Or Lycoris. I can't remember.
I always say it like the candy.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. When I see this, I think of the candy. So it's licorice. But hey, whatever. Before that, I want to say thank you to the individuals who hit me up on Twitter. I posted...
And Discord.
Yeah, true. And Discord. One on the feedback on the manga versus anime episode, but then two, the update where I said our recording had to be scheduled because of family emergency. Everything's good. We're all good, but thank you for the well wishes. Also, that's kind of a plug. I mean, if you want to get in touch with us, Twitter, Instagram, or Discord. I haven't made the actual Discord, so these are my Discord buddies. You know who you are. But yeah, Twitter or Insta, either way, can always get in touch with us.
Can you comment on TikTok?
Yeah. We have people that comment on TikTok.
Okay. Yeah, so definitely reach out on TikTok.
When we posted your happy birthday, people wished you happy birthday.
Yep. Thank you for those. I saw that. Yes.
But yeah. So we are gonna jump into this one, and I'm actually looking forward to this because Ace and I already spoke on it, and we are probably gonna have some what is it? Not conflicting, but
just different.
Yeah, different opinions, which is the beauty of a podcast.
Yes.
So a quick breakdown on this anime. It came out last year, summer 2022. I don't know the exact date, but it was summer 2022. It's an original. They did not make a manga or a side story for it until after it was made. And it was 13 episodes. And a quick synopsis on it is basically there's this covert agency called DA, which sounds so much better as DA because it actually stands for direct attack. But, that kind of sounds dumb. So we're just going to call them DA. Mm-hmm. And they are basically taking care of any threats, terrorists, etc. before it really happens. So crime is super down. DA, however, is operated by, the government officials, and they use young girls as their operatives. Ones that they adopt them as orphans, whatever. They get them as kids and train them to be assassins, honestly, because they're not arresting people. They're killing them and taking them out. That's the synopsis.
Yeah, I just want to add one thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
So also the government let's say a terrorist attack happens, they will cover it up before any social media, before anyone recognizes it, and cleans up the evidence so that all the citizens just think there's just no crime and everything's
it's
peaceful.
Always an accident.
Yeah, so it's before and during and after they are making sure that everything just looks peaceful.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
Like,
correct.
So they are really good.
Yeah, and this anime reminded me a lot of different shows that I grew up watching that I'll bring up later, but this part actually reminded me a lot about 86 because 86 they're all like, oh, there's no warriors who are dying, it's all like autonomous robots going out there, and the people willfully live in ignorance when there's people actually out there piloting these mechs, but because they're the 86 they don't care, right? Everybody knows about them. It's the same thing with this. There's no way every other country has crime and yours doesn't.
Right.
But the civilians are living in blissful ignorance because anybody with a brain would know, there's gonna be crime, right? Mm-hmm. No one is perfect. It would be great, a pipe dream, to have a society with no crime, but it is what it is. Now this introduces us to one. First it starts off with a bang. In the first 2 minutes of this first episode, you see a guy, like, I think with a bomb or something that's about to walk into a train. 2 girls walk up, boom, boom. Mm-hmm. Shoot him, dead, gone. There's another one where a guy's sitting on a bench, boom, boom. Girls cap him and take. I'm like, dang. Yeah. So we are just going in immediately.
No warm up, no talking.
So this got me into it ASAP. And then we have another kind of scene where we meet one of our dual antagonists. I know there's a word for it, but whatever. Like 2 protagonists, which is Takina. Mm-hmm. She is part of DA. Long story short, some things happen. She breaks orders, and they basically kick her off of the
home team.
Yeah, the home team.
The home office squad.
Yeah, the home office, and she has to go with this other place. She
has to go pretty much to a outcast field group.
Yeah, but she is known as the top operative, so she's actually looking forward to it because, yes, she knows she's kicked out, but she thinks this is the time for me to learn from our top operator, right? And then that's where we meet Chisato, which is totally not what she envisioned, right? So that's kind of a quick, a quick synopsis of like how this starts. Mm-hmm. So this is a little bit later than we usually do it, but we jumped into it kind of quickly. First thoughts. What did you think of the anime kind of as a whole? That way, like we always do. This is our quick one if nobody wants spoilers, and then we'll jump into it. So,
all right. So quick first, I want to say overall, it is a solid anime. I personally did not like it. Now when I kind of break it down to like why people can enjoy it and all that, like it hit everything out the park in the sense of the plot, the problem, the solution, the story track, the characters, they were solid. Did I love it? No. So I wouldn't personally recommend this. This was one that you can watch, enjoy, or could skip and you'll have no qualms. But I can also, on the other side, give you a whole bunch of reasons of why you should watch it. Both the characters are very talented. They're very entertaining. They have these skills that are enjoyable to watch. But for me personally, I didn't like Chisato. And she's tough. Like when I tell you this girl is the number one top notch, like she's that girl. Like when it comes to skill, yes. When it comes to her personality, when it comes to like her thought process, I wasn't a fan of it at all. Then Takina, when she started out, loved her. Then she starts changing and becoming more human, more caring. I didn't like it. I want her to be that dog. I want her to just be that assassin. That I want to be the number one competitor, learn the skills. But it ends up being that she can't even really learn the skills to beat Chisato, and it's because of the perks of Chisato's body that is giving her the advantage. So then it was like, Takina, why? Like, I don't want you to change, but I understand you have to change because of the story and the flow of the stuff. So I got mixed feelings on it. I'm gonna give you my rating right now.
No.
But yeah, that's kind of how I feel about it. It's a solid anime, but wasn't necessarily my cup of tea. And it was just so much packed into it. Like it had literally from the agents to the relationships with some of the other girls that were jealous and some of the other girls that kind of caused problems for Takina, and the way that was just unresolved. It was just an apology. I was like, Nah, you got her kicked out of the home office and pushed into a tea shop.
I mean, to be fair, she got herself kicked out. Even though I'm not a fan
yes,
that she got kicked out, but she did.
Yes, but so pretty much we're talking about the girl Erica. She got caught, and the other girl.
Erica, huh? Oh, sorry. Okay, I thought you were still talking about Takina. I was like, wait, what?
Oh yeah, no, I am.
Okay,
so
okay.
the girl Erica is part of the agents.
The DA.
Yeah, the DA. She gets captured by a villain, and Takina disobeys orders and saves him, but she ends up killing the villains and criminals so that they don't actually get the information and evidence that they need to continue their job. Mm-hmm. So she fails the mission, but she actually saves an operative. And then she gets kicked out for it. And the girl that gets saved does nothing. Just cries and sits in her room and just wonders if she's okay. Finally meets back up with her, and it's just a half-ass apology. Did not like that at all. Then they had a battle of these coders.
Oh my lord, boy!
And I loved it.
I said your quick synopsis. You've been going on for like 6 minutes.
Yeah, I can't give it to y'all because I'm mixed. Mixed.
Here was it. You recommended it, but you weren't feeling it. But yeah, right. He's telling you everything that he was feeling.
Yeah, so it's parts I like, parts I didn't like, and that's why I'm feeling this way.
See, me on the complete opposite side. And we talked about this. Mm-hmm. Like, I grew up watching shows like Dark Angel, The Pretender, and La Femme Nikita, right? Like, all these legit espionage shows. So I absolutely enjoyed this one because it reminded me of those a lot. Especially some, just the way that the DA operated. Because if any of you have watched those, I mean, like, these are all late 90s. I want to say they all ended around 2000s. But like, they have a good mission, but the way they go about it is not the best. Like The Pretender, main guy, I want to say his name's Jared. Like, he's part of a agency where they literally experiment on kids to try and make them very intelligent, etc. And he literally is so smart, he can become basically anybody. He can do any job. He then figures out, wait, these people aren't as benevolent as I think they are. Like, I'm actually a prisoner. And so he leaves trying to figure out, his personality and become his own person, right? Mm-hmm. Like, that's his own thing while they are chasing him. La Femme Nikita, I want to say she was like framed for killing somebody, and they're like, you either go to prison or you work for us, like, we can help you. And then, like, she finds out, like, nah, you guys kind of screwed me over. Mm. And at first she thinks she's helping people, but they're literally just training her to be an assassin, right? Which is honestly what they train these girls to be. Like, yes, they have a good reason. They want to keep crime down, and it shows crime is down. Yeah. But the way they're going about it ain't really the best way. Yeah. But, like, that's where I grew up. And then also, like, Hitman. Like, Hitman and Pretender and Dark Angel, they're all really similar. Because, again, Pretender, he could become whoever he wants to be. That's literally, like, the Hitman games, right? And the start of, like, the Hitman with the barcodes on their head and stuff, Dark Angel. So, like, a lot of people reference the two of them. Like, I remember when I was younger and I was looking them up. They're like, are Dark Angel and Hitman in the same, like, world? Which people do that with anime. Like, I think Toriko, which is, like, this crazy anime, is supposed to be in the same world as One Piece. So it's like, there's a lot of these, like, crazy things. Yeah.
Now, the environment, I can see it.
Yeah, I want to say they're in actually the same one. But, like, so for me, because I grew up watching, like, those espionage things, I really enjoyed it. And I actually really liked Takina's growth because she still has, like, no emotion really when she's talking and stuff. But she goes from being a drone... like a complete drone, to still a killer, but also, like, you know what? I want to do what I want to do, right? So I personally enjoyed it. because of those reasons. Now we can jump into what you wanted to talk about.
Yeah. So where I left off was...
You were talking about the hackers.
Yeah, so the Battle of the Hackers. I still feel like it was not as long as I would like it to be. I did enjoy the battle in the sense of how... So one hacker is named Robata, and the other one's Walnut. Mm-hmm. I'm going to spoil this. Robata loses, and I like how Walnut wins. I like that part.
Robata was so annoying.
Yeah.
He was such a freaking punk.
Did not like Robata and his cockiness at all. But I did like the two of them battling, and I wished she would have joined DA as their hacker at the end, but she ends up just doing her own thing and going to like Germany.
Yeah, no, I don't think she should be with DA. Screw DA.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, DA was definitely not good, but in the sense of like her skills could be used and could help them be better, maybe. But yeah, I definitely want her to just do her own thing and go to Germany, enjoy your life. So yeah, I did like the battle with them, but I did not like. So okay, what I did like the battle between Takina, Jin, the silent Jin, and
with the old
Chisato. Guy. Loved that part when it's and I love the 1-on-2 battle between Chisato and Fuki. And
what's the other girl?
Sakura.
I was like, I know it starts with an S. Okay.
Fuki and Sakura's 2v1 against Chisato. Mm-hmm. And then with Takina joining in at the end. Amazing.
Takina came in, punched her in the face. Bro.
And I loved
that. That was hilarious.
And that was revenge because when she saved an operative,
Erica.
She saved Erica. Fuki punches her for disobeying orders, even though she just saved a life. And I got upset literally then with the show, and I'm like, so if the roles were reversed and she saved your life, you're gonna punch her for saving your life or saving your teammate's life? I'm like, nah, I ain't like that. I ain't like her mindset. I didn't like her logic, and I really didn't like her fake competition of thinking that she was gonna work her way up to be better than Takina or Chisato.
Well, so by your logic, though, because you said you wished Takina stayed cold or whatever, if that's the case, Takina would have listened to orders. Because what happens with Takina is she becomes her own person. Again? You said you wished Takina just stayed cold and kill her at the beginning, which, granted, she never stops being a killer. Like, she's out there shooting people with live ammo and killing them sometimes until she gets her little band gun. Mm-hmm. But even then, she shoots them like in the arms, legs, everything. Right. And then bandages them up. Yeah. But like, her growth was she starts doing things
on her own
she
accord.
Wants to do.
I enjoyed that part.
Yeah. But as far, like, emotionally, she really doesn't change much. Like, she doesn't laugh. She doesn't really smile. Like, she's still very emotionally stunted. There's only one time you see a little bit of emotion from her, and that's when
they're hanging out.
No. When what's her name? Mizaki? Mizuki. See, my brain. When Chisato puts on the boxer briefs, and then she's like,
that was funny. That was funny.
These are breathtaking. And then Mizuki comes in. She was like, "You've been with a man." She's like, "No, these are Takinas." Takina walks in and she has no idea what's going on. Mizuki just lifts her pants or her skirt and looks at her. She's like, "Cute." And then they start talking and then she just blushes. But she also doesn't move or say anything, which I thought was hilarious.
That scene was hilarious. The whole boxer thing, that was funny.
Which was funny because she's sitting there flipping around to see her boxer brief.
Yeah, the only thing boxers. I didn't like for Takina's growth was like the banter when they're at the aquarium. That part, I'm like, I don't agree with Well, not. I don't want to say I don't agree. I just didn't enjoy that part of the show.
That was literally like 2 minutes.
That was not 2 minutes.
Yes, it was.
Man, that was 2 minutes. Oh hell, that was way too long.
Yeah, because literally, like they're talking, and then the only time she does something stupid, where she goes like fish.
Yeah.
And then she's like, I was like, yeah, see,
Hated
fish. It was literally like maybe a minute max.
Man, I didn't enjoy it. I'm like talking to don't do it. Like, don't fall into what's her name? Chisato's like personality. Like, keep your personality.
Which she did, because Chisato. So we said it right. Like, so Chisato is the top dog, but Chisato is very.
So can I recant something real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I want to recant that I enjoy Takina as the main character more than Chisato. Let me put that.
That's fine. Okay. Yeah, Chisato is more bubbly and charismatic, right? Yeah. Like her emotions and stuff are bright. Like, she's, for lack of a better word, kind of infectious. Like, whenever she's with people, like, they really enjoy her company. Yeah. But she's not dumb. Like, even though she acts kind of funny, like, when she needs to, she goes serious mode. And one thing I have to say about this anime, the gunplay in it is so good. Yeah. The way she holds her gun, the way she fires her gun, like
the combat with the gun.
Yeah, like everything. Like another.
What you call it earlier?
Yeah. So I was telling Ace about this earlier. There's a movie called Equilibrium where they come up with this fighting style called gun kata, where you use the guns while fighting. And Chisato does that a little bit. Like, she'll be in there, she'll like pop you. She uses rubber bullets because she doesn't want to take a life,
which I hated, and I understand why.
Which was it was a mix-up. So you find out much later in the anime that I want to say episode maybe 9 or 8, 10. Something like that. Oh, yeah. It's one of those. It's 8 or 9. I think it's 9. That Chisato grew up with a heart condition. Mm-hmm. She is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. She has always had really good reflexes, where she can basically analyze information very quickly and see what you're going to do. Well, probability, what you're going to do by the little movements in your muscles, clothes, etc., which allows her to do crazy feats like dodge bullets and stuff. Right? But because of all of that energy she's exerting, her heart can't handle it. So she always like passes out. She gets saved. What she thinks is she gets saved by this group, and the person who saved her gave her a gun and said, like, here's your, like, basically here's for you to start on your new life, right? Yeah. And it's a rubber one. Well, she, like, it uses rubber bullets. So she's like, oh, my savior saved me, so I'm going to live up to them. They are a savior. I can't take somebody's life if my life was saved. Right. You find out later that's not what the person wanted at all. It was basically supposed to start her off, and then she would go back killing. Yeah. Like, but no, she does get like a killer record in the DA. Like, she took out all these terrorists by herself, like, and made a name for herself that way
without killing them.
But she used rubber bullets, and she's also not a super sweet, nice person. Like, the rubber bullets hurt, and she will go up in there, put it in your chest, and fire like a whole clip into you. Yeah, like, she is not nice by any means. Yeah. Like, her nice, energetic personality does not transfer into her fighting. Yeah.
As long as you're breathing, she's going to keep you breathing. Yeah. But she has no problem decapacitating you, breaking arms.
Yeah. As long as you are alive, that's it.
You're good in her eyes.
Exactly, and that's one thing she puts to Takina. She's like, I can't take another person's life, and Takina's like, we were trained to shoot at the vitals. And one thing she says to Chisato, because like Chisato may be good, but her top skill is
shooting.
Her reaction. No.
Oh, wait,
it's not shooting. Chisato.
Oh, right.
Her Takina is a much better shooter than Chisato. And again, the way Takina fires is so good too, because one of the things I like about the John Wick movies is like how good they are with the gunplay in that. Yeah. And you see like the same style that he's using, Takina uses, etc. for accuracy. Yeah. She is a sharp shooter. Like she is great. But and that's why I wanted to say like her going to Chisato was never to try and beat her. It was I knew her thing was like
to learn and get better.
Yeah, to learn and get better. But like, well, because earlier you said like there's no way for her to beat her. Like that wasn't the plan. The only person who actually wanted to beat her was Fuki. Yeah, and Fuki trash. All right, like
and that's what I meant to say. I meant to say Fuki wanted to beat Chisato.
Yeah.
And I know like it's no way that she's ever going to get there. Even in that fitness test exam, she failed. They had a little. They pretty much were just taking the test at the same time, and she could not keep up at all.
Yeah, her reflexes are way slower. Her fitness shooting is slower because there's. Like,
and this is Fuki we're talking about.
Yeah, Fuki. And, like, Chisato has a robotic heart, but it doesn't enhance her at all. This is all...
It doesn't? I thought it helped with stamina.
Has absolutely nothing. Okay. Like, the only thing it helps is allows her to operate as if she had a normal heart. There's no buffs to it at all. Because at first I was thinking, but they tell you about it. Like, no, it's just an artificial heart. The only thing that's different for it is that it doesn't beat like some other artificial hearts. It just doesn't beat. Right. But like, so that's why I enjoyed how Chisato is, because I usually don't like the bubbly character, but
like roles are switched.
But like I actually liked her because she wasn't stupid. Usually, like the bubbly ones are dumb.
Right.
And then once you get to like episode 9, you're like, it makes sense why she is like this, because she never expected to live long. So she is enjoying every single second that she can have. And I'm like, that makes sense. Because like you could go one of two ways. Woe is me. I don't have a lot of life to live. And then she's like, no, you know what? Somebody gave me some extra years to live. I'm going to enjoy the hell out of it. Yeah. And so I was like, this makes so much sense. And I love their chemistry of her and Takina.
Yes.
Like, their partnership is so good. And it was nice to see an anime where
they do it right.
Yeah, one, they do it right. But two, the two protagonists don't have to be interested in each other at all. Because, like, there's been times where, like even in oh my gosh, it's the huge one again. God, why do I always forget? Anime? No, it's the one where they're fighting the huge.
The huge. That sounds so familiar.
It's the girls. Wow. It's the girls that like get the power and they're fighting like these big aliens and stuff. Oh my gosh, we did a we did. Well, not just we did a review on it. Anyway,
I know what you're talking
about
that
one.
Yeah.
Like even then, a couple of the girls were into each other, right? Like there is no romance here. These are two.
I enjoyed that.
Friends,
yeah, they are even genuine friends.
Yeah, and even in like other ones where there's a male and a female lead, like they don't always have to get together, like, right, but a lot of times they do. And don't get me wrong, like romance is cool, but like it doesn't have to be like the penultimate thing, which in a lot of those animes it is. This is just a person coming in and growing as a human, being Takina, and Chisato honestly learning a little bit from Takina in reeling it in. Like, Takina's like, yes, I understand. You want to live it up. But you also have to have, like, some things that you work on. She's like, fine. So, like, it's a good... They balance each other well. Like,
which was refreshing.
Yeah, so I enjoyed their growth as a crew.
But individually, for me, I didn't like their individual growth. Well, Chisato. I like Takina.
But yeah.
And I really like the gunplay in the sense of how realistic and correct their shooting forms are.
And they reload like every every like 2 seconds. So I'm like, yes, thank you.
Yes, there's no unlimited, limitless
like
bullets.
They literally fire like 7 shots and reload. I'm like, yes, thank you.
Oh my god, that was so good to see. And like I'm a gun advocate like for sport. Like that was very satisfying to see. And then like the actual firearms in there were accurate. Like I could literally name and identify every single thing that they were using. I was like, oh, that's that. And I was in love with the accuracy and the detail of that.
Speaking about the guns, when Mika shot the rubber balls into the female operative at the end, like he pumps her.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, bro, he broke her ribs. He broke probably her collarbone or something.
The impact was accurate. Like I literally just shot one of those probably like a week or two ago, and everything that the recoil showed in the anime was accurate. Now, personally, I don't like that one. I would never buy it, and I don't recommend it. But if you have experienced it, it is to the T accurate, and I respect it for that. And that's why, like, when we do the ratings, I'm going to give it that certain number because it has its pros. I personally just have some cons with it.
Yeah, which again is the whole beauty of this, right? Like, yes, we agree on a lot of things, but I actually like the ones where we don't because then people get both sides, right? Yeah. Like it's especially what we grew up on. Like I said, like this reminded me so much of Pretender, La Femme Nikita, like Hitman, Dark Angel. So like I vibed with that side of it, but like. You didn't grow up on that stuff, so like some of the growth and the changing was annoying to you, which is cool. Like that's the whole point. Like I
enjoyed more like the realistic of their actions, realistic of the weapons used, the martial arts used, the styles, like that part was the
way they disarmed people and stuff too was good.
Amazing. The fact that if she had to run from this tower to this tower and you see her actually run to that tower, not just blip, not just like skip. I was like, yes, I can respect that. Like I can give it its pros for where it is.
Yeah.
It was just certain things where I was like, I could do without that.
And they also, at first you think Chisato's like superhuman, right?
Yeah,
but there's so many times where like they're like, oh, so this is what you're good at. I'm gonna take it away from you. Like
the final fight, and that's perfect timing.
Well, even before the final fight, when they met in the cars and he spit blood on her eyes, like he's like, oh, you're good at with your eyes. So like, because she shot him in the head and it made him bleed, but he's like, you should have killed me. He spits blood in her eyes and she can't see. He starts working her.
Yeah.
And then who comes in? Takina comes in, helps her. They get into the car and run. And then what you're talking about, the two final fights.
The one with Majima.
Yeah.
Oh, that Mika fight too is good though.
Yeah.
With that,
with the crutch?
The crutch hit, I was like...
Yo, they paused. they paused on it going into her side. Yeah. And then they go to her face and she's like...
Oh, you feel the impact and the pain, and he literally. So the leader of the DA, like the big head honcho guy.
Well, no, he's not the leader of them. He's the leader of the
blonde hair guy.
He's a leader of that branch of Adam, the Adam Corporation or Adam Agency, I think it was called.
Okay. The technology agency.
Yeah. Okay. So they are
the leader of
not
that.
Affiliated with DA, but because they're such a huge company, they can kind of jump into whatever they want to.
Okay, so when Shinji, the head of the science agency, and the sensei, the one that takes care of Chisato and trains her up with the new artificial heart.
Yeah, Mika.
Yeah, that Mika Shinji fight, and he up there disguised that he was not impaired and had an injured leg, and does that combat, and he's just as good as the agents, just like bulkier, stronger, and older.
The chick. Yeah, when the chick tries to like stab him, he just blocks that thing real quick.
Yes. And usually in movies and shows, a black person always die, or he up there really get like injured super bad. I was so happy that he did not have that happen.
Yeah,
and I'm like, yes, just be a boss. Sensei.
Which that fight was maybe 30 seconds,
and it was beautiful.
Between her, but it was choreographed really well.
Yeah, executed amazing. So that fight, definitely look forward to that one. and then the fight with Majima and Chisato, like both of them. But the final one, when he literally was like, when she started coughing and getting hesitant, and he's like, "Oh, let's take a break. I ain't trying to beat you when you down like this bad.
Yeah,
like come on, take a rest on all that." And then they go back at it, and it's like, "Oh nah, they really giving 100. Yeah. And he's respectful in the sense of the art of battle.
Yeah,
give him props for that. But yeah, I'm still gonna give it my rating, even though I can give you 1,000 reasons of why it's good. Personally, it was hard for me to watch.
Yeah, see, I binged this pretty easily, and then I actually watched a couple episodes back in English just to see how I liked it. The dubbed actually wasn't bad.
Yeah, it was very similar.
I liked the subbed more because I'm just a sub person, but the dubbed actually wasn't bad for this. And as we're kind of coming to ratings, like, I know we haven't really gone into like a lot of detail into what happens, but admittedly, like I said, like a lot does happen in these episodes. It definitely is packed because there are a lot of like sub branches going on with Majima, with the hackers, DA, with the hackers. Yeah, like there's a lot going on with Lycoris, which is the
women's.
No. Lycoris is the tea shop.
The tea shop. Yeah.
Right? Like, and there's a whole nother branch.
There's a whole nother group with the Lily.
Yeah, Lily Bells. Like the boy version of Lycoris. Like,
they could have definitely been brought into this a lot earlier.
Well, it seems like literally the Lily Bells are purely made to try and take out Lycoris.
Oh, that's what they were for.
Because they always like go, like, what's her name says it. Chisato says it a couple times. Like, Lily Bell used to always come after her and try and kill her until the leader of Lycoris, she spoke to the guy for Lily Bell, and they decided, you know what, this is a losing battle because there's no way y'all are gonna beat her.
Right.
You guys just keep getting hurt. Just stop.
Yeah. Okay.
So, but that's what it sounds like. Like, they obviously do their own things, but it sounds like Lycoris really runs the safety, and Lily Bell's out there doing other stuff. But then when Lycoris is going through some stuff, they send them after her.
Yeah.
Because like when she walked out by herself in front of like all the boys,
was dodging bullets too. He was like,
it's Chisato. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, he was like,
and they're like, they're like, pull out. And my man's like pissed looking at her, and she's like, oh, we're not doing this? Like it was really
that was
funny.
pretty boss.
Yeah.
That was boss.
Because like she is confident. That's the thing. Like she's like, oh, I know I got this.
Yeah,
like, y'all ain't hitting me.
Yeah, she'll at least take out 99%.
Yeah,
it may be that one leader. That can hold his own and can retreat. But
So as we get into actually we'll just do it right now because then I told you I have 2 movies that we can decide on, so I'll let you decide on them.
Well, we can pause when I'm deciding, so I can read both of the synopses.
It'll be really quick.
No,
it'll be
guys,
really quick.
I told y'all I need him to give me a synopsis.
You know why? Because you'll know exactly what 2 of them are with the names. It ain't hard. Okay. So out of 10, go ahead, give your reasons for your.
So I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. This is a solid anime. Obviously, we can give a whole bunch of enjoyable parts. I'm just not going to give it anything higher than that because I just did not enjoy it well enough to give it an 8 or 9 or a 10 out of 10. The stuff that I liked, like I said, the realism, the combat, the techniques, the accuracy, and just the martial arts and the weapons, like I enjoyed that part, but in a whole, in entirety, the characters did not really love them, and I didn't really love Chisato as a character, and I'm gonna just keep it simple like that. So that's why I give it a 7.
So for me, I'm gonna give this one a 9, because I think the way they depicted the agency was really good. A lot of times you'll get agencies really put in like a bad light, and again, their mission is good, maybe not the best way of going about it, but it's not like they're abusing these kids. Like, they give them house, food, everything. Like, they gave them purpose. And the thing is, they're not blindsided by this. Like the Pretender, like he thought he was, like they were nice, but he was actually like a prisoner. Like, no, they know what they're doing, right? Mm-hmm. So I give props to that. But one of the things that Ace had said when we were talking about this offline was like he wasn't a fan of the woman leader. And I'm like, well, realistically, you're not supposed to be a fan of her. Like, she's not supposed to be a likable character. But she's like, I got to get this done. This is what needs to happen. Boom. Right? So, like, I enjoyed that. I really enjoyed the gunplay. I really enjoyed the visuals. The visuals were really good. The times where they slowed down so you can focus on the gunplay was good. The audio design for the gun sounded good. Mm-hmm. They sounded like each different gun they were using.
Very accurate.
Which I'm not huge into guns, but I do like them. Yeah, so, which kind of sounds hypocritical. I like them, but I'm not into them. But yeah, so I enjoyed that. Again, like Ace said, the martial arts when it was there was really nice. The different fight scenes were really well choreographed, but there's a couple things holding me from a 10. I think they did a lot in the amount of time, and they weren't able to flesh it out. And the ending, honestly, was a little bit like too happy-go-lucky for me.
Hated the ending.
So, and I'm not really going to go into it. Like, it's not a really bad one, but, like, it's a little too happy-go-lucky for me. So, with that and not really tying out some of those ends, I just can't give it a 10.
And I think that's why I gave it a 7.
Hey,
which is unanswered questions.
Which is fine. So, 2 movies.
Okay, before you do the 2 movies, real quick, my anime list has rated this as a 8, so that kind of matches up with what our numbers
7
are.
and 9. Yeah. So that makes sense. Yeah. 2 movies. Mm-hmm. One came out November. It is November 22.
Are these both 22?
No, the other one's earlier than that. It is Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, Scarlet Bond. So it is a movie for the Slime series, created by the characters. So it should be continuity.
Accurate, yeah.
And then we have Netflix's version of Godzilla. So creature feature versus another kind of creature feature. But there are 3 movies for Godzilla. So we could do 1, then do 2, and then do 3 later. Or we could just do the Slime.
This is easy. The Slime movie. If you guys seen the Slime, you already know that was an easy decision.
Exactly. That's why I told you. We don't have to pause. It's either Godzilla or Slime.
Man, sometimes CJ be giving me some options. But I'm like, bruh, ain't no way I'm just going to go off this title and make a decision. But nah, Slime, super excited for that one.
I want to say it came out November 2022. And I think it might actually still be in theaters.
It was in theaters?
Yeah, they released it in theaters. I have a friend who went, I think, and saw it like a couple weeks ago. So all right, so next week we will be doing Scarlet Bond, the Slime movie. But until then, thank you as always for listening, showing your support, etc. Until then, though, I am CJ.
I'm Ace.
And we will catch you next AA meeting.
And check us out on all platforms. Audience, TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter, and Discord.
Yeah, and shout out to Jess. Say hi to her on TikTok because she is still with us, still doing the TikTok side. So say hello.
You've been killing it. Keep it up, Jess.
All
Thanks.
Right. Peace.